Our final speaker for the day, I'm delighted to call upon Mr. Ravi Sharma, a philanthropist, a business mentor, and a columnist. He is a distinguished alumnus of IIT and recipient of Best CEO Award from several industrial bodies. He has an outstanding track record of leading India's largest corporations in power and telecom industry. He is the former CEO of Adani Power, Video Telecom, Alcatel-Lucent, South Asia. Fan acknowledged visionary and transformational leader having rich expertise in multicultural environment. In addition, he is a philanthropist and mentor supporting and guiding several non-profit organizations and tech startups. Before I call him on stage to speak to all of us, we have a short video on one of his philanthropic initiatives.
130 करोड़ की आबादी के साथ भारत एक बहुत बड़ा देश है। जितना बड़ा ये देश है, उतनी ही बड़ी हैं इसकी समस्याएं। और इसीलिए सरकारों के प्रयासों के बावजूद बहुत सारे नागरिकों को अनेक समस्याओं का सामना करना पड़ता है। फिर वो समस्या चाहे बच्चों और बड़ों की शिक्षा की हो या कौशल विकास की, भूख की हो या दिव्यांगों की, पर्यावरण की हो या महिला सशक्तिकरण की, प्राणी जगत की देखभाल की हो या स्वास्थ्य की। चेतना का मानना है कि इन समस्याओं के समाधान की जिम्मेदारी केवल सरकार की नहीं है, बल्कि हम सब की भी है। और इसीलिए भलाई की भावना के साथ आगे आने वाले प्रत्येक व्यक्ति को महत्व देना समस्या के समाधान का एक महत्वपूर्ण हिस्सा है। अक्सर लोग वही करते हैं जिसकी तारीफ होती है, और हमारे समाज में जहां सफलता की खूब तारीफ होती है, वहीं भलाई की बहुत कम। और इसीलिए समाज में भलाई करने वालों की संख्या दिन ब दिन कम हो रही है। मिशन चेतना इसी कमी को दूर करना चाहती है, और इसीलिए भलाई करने वालों की सराहना करती है, उन्हें पहचान देती है, सहयोग देती है और उन्हें चेतना हीरो की उपाधि से सम्मानित करती है, जिससे समाज के असली हीरो अपनी राह पर आगे बढ़ते रहें, समाज की भलाई का यह भाव प्रसारित करते रहें। यही चेतना का मिशन है, भलाई का प्रसार। मिशन चेतना के इस अभियान के असली हीरो यानी कि चेतना हीरो, ये वो लोग हैं जो सामाजिक समानता बनाने, समस्याओं को सुलझाने और अन्य लोगों को सफल बनाने में विश्वास रखते हैं। ये आम लोगों में चेतना के स्तर को बढ़ाने और ऊपर उठाने वाले इंसान हैं। इन लोगों में कुव्वत है समाज का हाथ पकड़ने की और उसे आगे बढ़ाने की, जिससे हमारा समाज और हमारा देश बेहतर बने, हर दिन, हर क्षेत्र में और बेहतर। मिशन चेतना इन चेतना हीरो को अपना एनजीओ बनाने के लिए प्रेरित करती है और उन्हें आत्मनिर्भर बनाने के लिए तन, मन और धन से उनका सहयोग करती है। अपनी इस 5 साल की यात्रा में चेतना हीरो को आजीवन समर्थन देने के वादे के साथ मिशन चेतना ने 70 से अधिक एनजीओ के निर्माण में योगदान किया है और भारत के 1 करोड़ से भी अधिक लोगों के जीवन में भलाई की रोशनी को फैलाने में सफल रही है, जिससे उनके जीवन में बहुत सकारात्मक बदलाव आया है। यही है भलाई के प्रसार की शक्ति। चेतना एक मिशन है, संकल्प है, प्रतिबद्धता है, और इसका उद्देश्य अगले 5 सालों में कम से कम 10 लाख लोगों को प्रेरित करना है कि वो अपने जीवन में भलाई को चुनें, उसे प्राथमिकता दें। हम समझते हैं कि एक बेहतर समाज के लिए भलाई उतनी ही जरूरी है जितना कि विकास और सफलता। अगर आपको लगता है कि आप भी समाज में फर्क लाना चाहते हैं और उसके लिए कुछ करना चाहते हैं, तो भलाई के इस अभियान में हमसे जुड़ें। हम खुले दिल से आपका स्वागत करते हैं। आइए हम सब मिलकर भलाई के प्रसार के इस मिशन को सफल बनाएं। गर चाहो तो तुम भी कुछ कर जाओ, गर चाहो तो तुम भी कुछ कर जाओ, या फिर औरों की तरह यूं ही गुजर जाओ। उठाओ हाथ मदद में तुम भी औरों की, या फिर यूं ही जियो और यूं ही मर जाओ। अगर चाहो तो तुम भी कुछ कर जाओ।
To talk to us now about how, through our leadership, we can inspire. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Ravi Sharma.
Good evening to all of you. I just heard the address by Shri Annadurai ji, and I must say that Akshay Kumar could not do justice for that role. Of course, the movie worked well, but I am sure that the dynamism and energy which he was showing was much, much beyond what Akshay Kumar did. So good evening to all of you, and thank you IRIM and Anand for calling me here and giving me opportunity to speak to all of you who are supposed to be the cream of corporate, of manufacturing industry. So, how to start it? You just saw what Chetna is all about. So let me speak about 5 minutes to give you a background. When I decided that what I wanted to do, then I wanted to solve some problem. And I wanted to find a big problem to solve. And according to me, the biggest problem of the world is coming from society where we have completely focused on one aspect of society, whereas the other aspect is missing. I hardly meet a mother who says, I am extremely proud of my son because he helps others. What I hear, I'm extremely proud of my son because he topped his class and got an excellent job. I hardly meet a father who says, I'm very proud of my daughter because she is very honest. I find what I hear, I'm very proud of my daughter because she scores 99.7% or some percentage like that. We do what we get appreciated for. And therefore, we are training everybody for only one thing, to become successful. And somewhere, this success is getting identified into two circles, either money or controlling money. And therefore, everybody wants to be successful. With the result, there are less and less people who want to do selfless work for the society. Anybody who doesn't understand Hindi? So everybody understand Hindi. So, सफलता की इतनी बढ़ाई हो गई है कि भलाई कहीं छुप गई है. And therefore, I found out that the biggest problem of the world is that there are not enough people who want to do selfless work for the society. Or within ourselves, our value system and our time doesn't permit us to really focus on that aspect of life, which is also important. And the result is goodness is shrinking. And therefore, in spite of all the prosperity, all the economic growth, and all success in the world, people are more depressed, people are more anxious, people are more restless, and people are more dissatisfied. And the reason being, because there is hardly goodness outside. I'll give you an example. When I was in IIT in 80s, I used to live in Lucknow, and I used to travel to Roorkee. When I used to say that, okay, I'm going for my college, my mother used to be very sad. And she always used to tell me, like all mothers, that the moment you go there, write me a letter. So I would go there and get lost with all my friends. After 2-3 days, I'll get reminded that I have to write a letter to my mother. So I will write her a letter, which will take another 4 days for reaching there. And after 7 odd days, my mother would know that I have reached safely. During this time, I never saw her worried. Now, fast forward today. Your son or daughter goes to airport to take a flight. Imagine how many calls you make to him. Have you sat in the car? Have you reached? Have you checked in? Have you sat in the flight? Flight is on the time. Why? Because at the subconscious mind, we have inculcated this feeling that goodness is not assured. If something happens, then the goodness will not come. And by the way, who is responsible for this? Only us. I, as a person, feel that if I meet an accident, the next guy should take me to the hospital. Okay, but what I tell my son, if you see any accident on the road, please don't stop, because you will be in problem. So our expectations from society and our own doing are completely diverse today. And that is the reason that we are completely divergent in our views. We are completely fractured in our mental setup. And that is the reason. So we wanted to solve this problem. So therefore, I set up an organization and decided that how to make sure that this chain of goodness doesn't stop. So if I were to tell you in one sentence as to what Chetna does and what we have been able to do in the last 10 years is like to create a good, to protect the environment, you need to do two things. Make sure no big trees are cut and make sure the small plants are protected. So चेतना भलाई के पौधों को बचाकर उनको पेड़ बनाने का काम करती है. So we protect everybody. We facilitate, we protect, we support everyone whosoever has taken the cause of selfless service to society, and make sure that we support them so much that they never leave that path, because anyway there are less and less people there. And secondly, we make sure that over a period of time we support them to create an organization, to create an NGO, and to become self-sufficient. So in the process in last 7 years, 5 years particularly, we have created about 70 NGOs in 11 states, and we have been able to now reach about 1 crore people in India. And we believe that we will be able to reach 10 crore people in next 5 years of time. चेतना का जन्म 5 साल पहले हुआ, लेकिन इसका बीज शायद बहुत पहले चला गया था. तो मैं आपको एक छोटी सी कहानी सुनाता हूँ. और कहानी मैं इसलिए सुनाता हूँ कि शायद आप कहीं उससे रिलेट कर पाएं. बात 1985 की है. मैं तभी ग्रेजुएट हुआ था और 3-4 महीने मुझे काम करते हुए थे. तभी मुझे मेरी सैलरी थी 1200 रुपये. तो मुझे 1200 रुपये की सैलरी मिली थी और उस दिन मैं बहुत खुश था. तो मैं गया कनॉट प्लेस में, मैंने खाना खाया और वहाँ से फिर मैंने एक बस ली और बस से मैं साकेत की तरफ जा रहा था. रास्ते में एक ट्रैफिक लाइट आती है जिसका नाम है सरोजनी नगर. वहाँ पर एक ट्रैफिक लाइट आई और मैंने एक भिखारी को देखा. मुझे उसके ऊपर दया आई और मैंने उसको अपनी जेब से निकालकर 100 रुपये दे दिए और मैं चला गया. 3 साल बाद मेरी तरक्की हो गई. मेरी सैलरी हो गई 4000 रुपये और मैंने एक पुरानी गाड़ी खरीद ली. उस पुरानी गाड़ी से फिर एक दिन गर्मियों में मैं अशोका होटल से साकेत ही जा रहा था और मैं फिर उसी ट्रैफिक लाइट पर रुका और फिर मुझे एक भिखारी दिखाई दिया. मैंने उस दिन भी अपनी जेब से 100 रुपये निकाले और उसको दे दिए. अभी मैं 2 किलोमीटर ही गया था तो मैंने सोचना शुरू किया कि मैं अमीर हो रहा हूं कि गरीब. जब मेरे पास 1200 रुपये थे तब भी मैंने इसे 100 रुपये दिए. आज मेरे पास 4000 रुपये हैं तब भी मैंने इसे 100 रुपये दिए. उस दिन मैंने डिसाइड किया कि मुझे गरीब नहीं होना है. तो अपने जीवन में, हालांकि उस समय मुझे पता नहीं था, तो मेरी पहुंच दिमाग की ये थी कि शायद मैं जीवन में कभी 1 लाख रुपए पर महीना कमा पाऊंगा. लेकिन फिर मैंने सोचा कि चलिए अगर 1 लाख रुपए भी होगा तब भी मैं कम से कम 8.33% हमेशा खर्च कर पाऊंगा किसी और के लिए. ईश्वर की कृपा हुई, वो 1 लाख नहीं हुआ, 10 लाख हुआ, 50 लाख हुआ, करोड़ से ज़्यादा हुआ. और लेकिन मैंने इसको कम नहीं किया. 8.33 से 10 किया, 15 किया, 20 किया और इस तरह डिसाइड किया कि जब तक मैं 1 करोड़ लोगों के पास नहीं पहुंच जाऊंगा तब तक मैं अपने पैसे से इतने लोगों की कम से कम मदद करूंगा और जब इससे ज़्यादा हो जाएगा तब मैं किसी और के पास जाऊंगा. एक दूसरी चीज़ का उस दिन जन्म हुआ कि दुनिया में सिर्फ 2 तरह के लोग होते हैं, एक अमीर, एक गरीब. पुअर एंड रिच. पुअर आर दोज who somehow make sure to look after their family. Sometimes they earn 100 rupees per day or 1000 rupees a month, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, and somehow they look after their family. After that, there are people who earn 50,000, 1 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 1 crore per month. And imagine 98% of them, they also look after their family. So my shirt is in 1 meter or 2 meters, yours is in 4 meters, still making shirt. According to me, all of them are very poor people. So anyone who cannot look beyond themselves, how can they be rich? So they are only poor. So one of my suggestions for you is to start becoming rich. Don't die poor. अच्छा ये कैसे हो सकता है? आपको जब 1 लाख रुपए सैलरी मिलती थी तब भी आप अपनी फैमिली देखते थे. अभी 1.5 लाख हो गई तब भी अपनी फैमिली देख रहे हैं. 5 हो जाएगी तब भी अपनी फैमिली दे रहे हैं. हाउ कैन इट हैपन? इसका मतलब कहीं कुछ तो गलत है. तो मेरा सजेशन आप सबसे है कि प्लीज मेक श्योर दैट यू स्टार्ट बिकमिंग रिच, बिकॉज विदाउट बिकमिंग रिच यू विल नॉट गेट what you aspire for. अच्छा, by the way, what do you aspire for? So I'll ask a very favorite question of mine, and I hope that all of you will be honest with it. You are all from all very big corporates. Is there anybody whose company doesn't have a vision and mission statement? There's nobody. How many of you remember the vision and mission statement of your company? So only one. I think most of you may not remember verbatim. How many would like to work for a company which has no vision and mission? Anyone? Okay. How many of you like to work for a company for 1 year which has no vision and mission? Excellent. How many of you have written vision and mission of your life? Please raise your hand. So 1. Maybe 2, 3. You are not ready to give 1 partial year of your life to a company which doesn't know where it is going. But you yourself have never bothered to think about where are you going. If you cannot work for one company for 1 year, unless it is written down extremely clear where it is going, you yourself have never thought about it. But you guide your children. Imagine. So my suggestion is, it's never late. It is never late. Please think about it and write a vision and mission for your life. Because unless you write it, you will never be able to decide what you wanted and where you are going. But accept the fact that every year appraisal will happen. Now, second suggestion is, please don't write paragraphs. Because whenever you write paragraphs, it is only to confuse or only to find a scapegoat. Don't write lines also. Because there also you will fit words which will suit you. Write 1 word. Suppose I want to go somewhere. Do I write a paragraph? Suppose I have to go to Paris. Mr. Anadurai, suppose I have to go to Paris because Paris keeps coming in ISRO many times and I had my own relationship with Paris. Do I ever say I'll go to China? At least I will not go in that direction. Rule of physics are very clear. You will not go from suppose you want to go from point A to point B. There are only 2 conditions when you will not reach there. Number 1, when you change your direction. Number 2, when you stop on the way. Can there be a third way? No. So, but if you don't know where you are going, what will happen? You will travel wherever the crowd is and you will keep going there. Achha, by the way, have you ever thought, now that we are talking about vision and mission, so please write one word and decide that 1 word, besides that, everything else is waste. And I can assure you, you will start feeling lighter, empowered, and energetic. Because now you know the direction, and you don't care about any other direction where others are going. Achha, by the way, let me talk about yourself. Have you thought what you want? I'm sure. Anybody who doesn't want success? Okay. Who wants success? So, I guess all of you. But have you defined success? Our definition, Suppose, sir, you sent it to Mangalyaan. If you would have not defined where moon is, where will it go? It will land up somewhere else. Rather, it will come down because it can't go to stars anyway. Isn't it? So, what is success? We all want to become successful. But by the way, what is success? You know, success is a word where people can define their own way. But most of the people define success means promotion. Am I wrong? Sorry? Okay, success means satisfaction. Very good answer. So, success means promotion for most of the people, and I will come back to you. Or power, which should actually ultimately should translate into money. That is what success is all about. Okay? So, is your life only that? When you, by the way, how many people get appraised? In your appraisal system, nobody gets appraised? So everybody. And how many of you appraise others? Everybody. Do you ever do self-appraisal? Okay. Apart from the job. Apart from the job. Okay, and how do you do that? Under what category do you do that? If you do not know your vision and mission, how do you measure yourself? Do you really measure yourself? If you really do not know where you are going, how do you measure where you have moved? So imagine that you have not finalized. Of course you know, but you have not finalized where you want to go. So you have been going everywhere. Then how do you measure yourself? I'll be very surprised. Mr. Anadurai, can it be done? It cannot be done. So, best is to be honest with yourself. That means the self-appraisal is not being done. Now, okay, when we come to self-appraisal, you must decide what do you want. Suppose you say, by the way, I have of this philosophy that whatever you try may happen, may not happen. But whatever you decide will happen. I have never seen a person who has not been able to achieve what he decides. And if he has not been able to decide, then I am more than sure that his mind is still wavering what he wants. All of you are here because you decided to be here. If you would have tried, I am not so sure. I'll give another example. Suppose somebody tells you that you get up in the morning to run for exercises. Your answer is, I will try. Okay? But if your organization tells you 4:30 you have to take a flight, how many times you try? You decide. And therefore, something might happen, otherwise you never miss a flight. Isn't it? Even worse, the doctor tells you that there is an operation for you tomorrow morning at 3:30. How many would miss? Nobody would miss. Anyway, the point which I want to say is that in life, whatever you decide will happen. So please, be careful as to what you decide. And for that, be careful that what do you want. If you say, I need a promotion, if you decide, you will get a promotion. But you will have to think what it will give it to you. If you want that you should get money, obviously you will get most of the money, a lot of money. But then you have to think what it has given it to you. हिंदी में बोलूं तो सतही तौर पर हम बहुत सारी चीज़ों का वैकल्पिक आनंद ले सकते हैं, टेम्परेरी आनंद ले सकते हैं, बट अंततः तीन चीज़ें जो हम अपने अंदर तक महसूस कर सकते हैं वो है शांति, सुख और आनंद अल्टीमेटली. तो अगर ये तीन, पीस, हार्मनी एंड हैप्पीनेस, if I were to say it a little bit more similar to that. So if these are the three things which ultimately are going to be valuable to us, then don't you think somewhere we should see that whatever we are doing, whether we are getting that or not? So therefore, all of those who want to measure anything in life, first of all, think yourself. I am telling from my experience, you cannot measure anything except these things. Because ultimately, how many people are there, by the way, who feel they are more happy today than they were 20 years ago. Okay, let me go back. 30 years ago, when they were a student. Can you raise your hand? So you are, and you are. So there are, imagine, in a, how many of them? 100, 3%. But you are more successful. Isn't it? I don't know how many promotions you have got. You have more money. So what is that? So when you measure yourself every year, be careful. Realign your direction if it is missing. And please see, where do you score on these things? Stop identifying yourself with the chair, because then you will become the chair. And nobody would see you like a human being. So if you cease to exist as a human being, do you think you have any value once you are out of the chair? Unless you tell me, I am X, such and such. So it becomes X to define who you are. Imagine. Your past is defining you, you yourself don't exist. So my suggestion to you is that please be very clear and decide at least one thing, that you will become a bigger human being than your chair. Because if your size remains smaller than chair, then people will see less of you, more of the chair. Unless your size become more than the chair, then people will see you and not the chair. Choice is yours. So then try to start thinking what you are beyond this chair. And then you will get several answers for your life. When it comes to peace, happiness, and harmony, of course, there are several ways to go that. But one of the most profound way and the tested method is to spread goodness. Whenever you do anything for somebody else, it gives you peace and happiness. Why does it give you happiness? One suggestion which I want to give it to all of you, that whenever you do something, please keep thinking, why am I doing it? And I'll give you two examples. Rather, I was to give one, I'll give one free. 1 + 1. I asked several people, what is the purpose of education? I am actually, the president of global body of IITian called IIT Alumni Council. So in the process, I meet several IITians and several IIT directors. And my basic question to them is, what is the purpose of education? Because unless we are clear about the purpose of education, our education is gone. But we'll never be able to guide our children that what they should look for. So when I talk, somebody says knowledge. So I said, okay, fine, but that is now available in Google. Somebody says something else. Somebody says understanding. I said, okay, you can understand that. But according to me, the purpose of education is to enhance your ability of learning. There are three things which you can do. You can know things, you can understand things, and you can learn from them. These three things are different. I'll give you an example. Suppose, okay, I am an electrical engineer. So I have read it. So that was my study. So I knew it. There are certain parts which I could understand, how motor functions, etc., etc. My learning is only one learning. Motor efficiency is maximum at full load. Now this learning, I can apply everywhere. I can apply on a human being, I can apply on organization, I can apply on a family. Whenever you are fully loaded, you will do even more. Whenever you are less loaded, you will not do even that. So that I apply everywhere. It's like knowing about the car, understanding how it functions, and driving it. Three things are very different. So we must be sure why we are doing something. And therefore, when people come and tell me that they don't use their knowledge which they acquired there, so I ask them, why do you think it was to be used? It is like saying, I go to gym. So when you ask the purpose of going to gym, somebody says, I'm going to make muscles. Somebody says, I'm going to lose weight. Hardly anybody meets who says, I'm going for making my health better. But is that the only purpose? The purpose of gym is to enhance your energy level. That is the purpose. And once your energy level is enhanced, outside you don't look for treadmill to run. Similar is about education. Every year, it is supposed to be becoming better, your learning ability, so that you can learn more. And maybe that is the reason that most of the toppers who get confined to the knowledge part are not able to do much, but all those people who are involved in several extracurricular activities, because of the spectrum of things they do, they learn better. And their learning ability becomes better. One thing is common for all the successful people. Their learning ability is better than others. Any confusion on that? No. So therefore, we should always know the purpose of doing things. Because if we do not know the purpose, then we will always be confused. So one thing which can help you. Why children are so energetic all the time? And they have so much of energy? Only one thing. They are learning new things every day. So if you want to be energetic, learn something. And learn something more. एक बड़ी विडंबना है. अब आप इसका जवाब खुद देंगे तो मुझे बेहतर लगेगा. कोई ऐसी कंपनी है जो सक्सेसफुल नहीं होना चाहती हो? नहीं है. कोई ऐसा मैनेजर है जो सक्सेसफुल नहीं होना चाहते हो? नहीं. कोई ऐसा एम्प्लॉई है जो सक्सेसफुल होना नहीं चाहता हो? कोई ऐसा मालिक है जो सक्सेसफुल नहीं करना चाहता हो? नहीं है. सब कुछ वेल अलाइंड है ना, फिर भी कंपनी सक्सेसफुल नहीं होती. अब बताएं क्यों? एवरीथिंग इज वेल अलाइंड. Everybody's attention is to make successful. But still companies are not successful. Why is that? Isn't it strange? सब successful होना चाहते हैं. Company नहीं successful होती. You know why? Because we don't want other person to be successful. We don't help him to be successful. All great things or all great organizations or all great leaders, they have only one thing, to make other person successful. He could reach to Mangalyaan not because he wanted to be successful, but everybody around him started feeling that they will be more successful. So if you want to lead a good team, then just be successful. If you want to lead the best team and you want to be recognized as leader, then make them successful. Support them successful. How many of you remember your teachers? And which teacher do you remember? Who made you learn most? So supporting means give opportunity, give support, give inspiration, give motivation to your people to learn more. And prepare them to take them over from you. In the process, you should do your boss's work. Don't start doing his work. And don't start telling him, I can do better than you. Of course you could do. But that is why you are here. Do your boss's job to make it better. Otherwise what will happen? You are putting the whole organization one level below. And imagine where it will go. And then you say that I can do better than him. But my organization is not working. So if you want to become a part of the great organization are those where people actually support others to become successful. According to me, every organization should have this KRA. That how many people you are helping to become successful. And somebody who's not following it should be crossed. And you will see that organizations will prosper. Maybe that is why multinational companies survive much more, because they have created, by virtue of it, an organization which is always a cross-functional organization, where the cross matrix is there. Somebody reports to two people, so that nobody can get away. So these are some of my thoughts about corporate life. Now about children. Let us talk about a family. So once you know what you want, then you will know what to ask your child. Currently, let me define two scenarios. When we were young, we means people around 60, me and Mr. Nadurai, and there could be, I think none of you because you are all working. So when we were small, we had a very big institution, divide spread institution in India. And that institution name was joint families. Okay? That was the institution of learning. By the way, difference between knowledge and learning is knowledge which you can refer to, learning which you never forget. And you always use it with your subconscious mind on everyday basis. And even if you don't use it, when you are given opportunity to use, you will not forget. How many of you have learned cycling? Have you forgotten if cycle is given to you? No. How many people have learned? Of course, all of you walking. Can you forget it? You cannot. So that is the difference between learning and this. So let's go back to the child. So when we were small, we grew up listening to stories, bedtime stories. So there were thousands and thousands of characters, grandmother, grandfather, uncle, maternal uncle, whosoever the elder, it was a recipe for sleep. Like children do not sleep today without being on iPad or without seeing the cartoon movie. We used to be given dose of stories. Now, in spite of having lakhs and lakhs of characters, there are only two things in this story. Number one, two kind of people exist in the world, good and bad. And good always, at the end, becomes winner. Good wins and bad loses. These were the two things. So therefore, at the back of our mind, this thought was carried by everybody. And possibly that was the reason that there was goodness in this society. Because we were very conscious. We were trained to be conscious. Later on, a lot of us digressed. Today, what are we teaching? Become successful at any cost. That cost could be yours. Isn't it strange that a very outstandingly intelligent person like Rakesh Junjunwala, he discovers just before his departure, few months before, that all his investments were good, but his worst investment was in his health. Do you consider him wise? Do you think he should have taken so much of time to realize this fact? Do you want to go his way? So therefore decide, what do you want? You will always want. If that was not so, then people who are having billions and billions and billions won't be suffering at the end. You know why? Because that is what they wanted. They got. मुझे लगता है भगवान सबको एक चीज जरूर देता है. जो भी आप एक चीज मांग लो. सपोज आपने पैसा मांगा तो पैसा मिल जाएगा. हो सकता है हेल्थ ना मिले. फिर आप रोना मत. है ना? हेल्थ होगा तो शायद मिल जाए. तो इसीलिए आप डिसाइड करो पहले कि आपको क्या चाहिए. आप सबने बचपन में जितने भी लोग हिंदू फिलॉसफी से आए उन्होंने सावित्री की स्टोरी जरूर सुनी होगी कि उसने कैसे अपने पति को बचाया. बिकॉज उसको पता था मुझे क्या कहना है. तो आप भी मांगने जाते हो ना, तो आप डिसाइड किया करो कि आप क्या मांगने जा रहे हो. 90% टाइम तो हमको पता ही नहीं होता कि क्या हमारे लिए अच्छा है क्या बुरा है. अदरवाइज ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है दैट एवरी मैरिज स्टार्ट्स इन हेवन बट आफ्टर सम टाइम इट बिकम्स डिफरेंट, और एवरी फ्रेंडशिप स्टार्ट्स इन हेवन. So for coming back to children, you will not be able to guide them unless you yourself is sure. Actually, what do you want them? How do you bless them? Because blessing is a very important part. Unless you know how to bless them, You will bless them for success, they will become successful. They may not become good. मुझे नहीं लगता कि पुराने ज़माने में किसी ने किसी को ब्लेसिंग दी हो और ये ना कहा हो कि खुश रहो. That was the only blessing. Nothing else. I have never heard from anybody. I belong to a village, and it was very difficult circumstances because class 1 to 3 I had no access to classroom. It was under the tree, and I come from a family where my grandfather could not feed his 5 kids, so 2 of them after doing class 8th or 9th went to military to serve because food was free. So in all those circumstances, we must always think, what is it that we want? You will actually get what you want. But most of the time, we don't even know what we want. We accept everything what we want. So my suggestion to you is, first, be very clear. And second, know what is it which you are teaching to your child. Because many a times, unknowingly, we teach them wrong things. And then over a period of time, we suffer. I'll give you an example. Suppose my mother is sick and she needed to be taken to hospital and my child is sneezing. 90% chances I will take my child to the doctor first. And of course, he'll be cured over a period of time, family will become. And what happens? He grows up and he starts neglecting you. You are astonished because you loved him so much. But you know what you taught him? Always love your child. So he's loving his child. Isn't that happen? It happens quite regularly. I see it happening. The second thing, I have never visited a family where a child is small and he's playing with his toys. And suddenly the neighbor's child will come. So father or mother, what are they supposed to say? Beta, इनको share करो चलो. अकेले नहीं खेलते. That's such a wonderful teaching, isn't it? And the child hesitantly will start playing, they will start sharing it. Over a period of time, he starts getting consciousness. He grows up and he understands one thing. What does he understand? He understands that till the size of the toy is small, share it. Because once the size of toy becomes valuable or bigger than you, don't share it. Because he has seen you. You never share your car. You never share your bedroom. You never share your computer. You never share your space. Why? You never share your money. It means what? So he understands that I only have to share it till it is, it means nothing. आजकल बहुत फैशन है मल्टीटास्किंग का और हम सबको लगता है कि मल्टीटास्किंग में बहुत एफिशिएंसी है. उसमें हम लोग बहुत एंथुजियास्टिक हैं मल्टी रोल निभाने में भी. अब इसके परिणाम क्या होते हैं? मैं आपको थोड़ा सा ना एनेक्डोट दे रहा हूँ, शायद आप कहीं से रिलेट कर पाएं. कि हमारे से पहली जनरेशन थोड़ी डिफरेंट थी. हमारे माँ थी, बाप था, भाई थे, बहन थे, सब थे. लेकिन आजकल क्या है, जो बाप है ना, वो बाप भी है और अपने बेटे का सबसे अच्छा दोस्त है. बच्चों के सबसे अच्छे दोस्त कौन हो गए? माँ बाप. तो उसको क्या लगा कि बाकी सब लोग डिपेंडेबल है ही नहीं, उसके दोस्त ही नहीं है, उसके एंजॉय टाइम फ्रेंड्स हैं. So what is happening? They get depressed very fast. The second thing, हम कंप्लेन करते हैं कि बच्चे तो हमारी बात सुनते ही नहीं. Because in friendship, you can always take it or leave it. So, but where is father? Father has disappeared. So now, the moment the child is a little bit grown up, father is gone. So there is no father. There is no mother. Who is there? Friend. Where? At home. Outside, what is the need? It is not dependable. तो जब आप फ्रेंडशिप की परिभाषा देखते हैं ना, तो शायद दोस्ती एक ऐसा रिश्ता है जिसमें हम उस व्यक्ति को वैसे ही एक्सेप्ट करते हैं जैसा वो है, बाकी सारे रिश्तों में उसको चेंज करना चाहते हैं। तो इसीलिए जब आप बेस्ट फ्रेंड हैं अपने बच्चे के और उसको बोलते हैं मैं तुमको चेंज करना चाहता हूं, तो वो फ्रेंडशिप छोड़ देगा लेकिन चेंज नहीं लेगा। बहरहाल अभी समय हो गया ना, सो वट एवर इट इज़ देयर, मैं आपको सिर्फ ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि थोड़ा ध्यान दें और जीवन में जो भी करते हैं ना उसका पर्पस पहले देख लीजिए और ये देख लीजिए कि जो आप जहाँ जा रहे हैं, जो आप चाहते हैं, wherever you want to go, does it help you there? Otherwise, how many people are familiar with Delhi? Okay, some of you are. Uske, I think every city has now a ring road. Okay? So otherwise what will happen is, it is like taking all your trunks on your head, going in a bus on a ring road, and coming back in the evening fully tired, completely tired. But where have you traveled? Nowhere. But you are tired. It will give you a good sleep, a good satisfaction sometime. Okay, because you have been very busy. But have you traveled? No. So please be extremely conscious. Find out, first of all, if I could give one suggestion to you, write your vision and mission. It will not come immediately, but it will come after some time. And the day you find it, you would be the richest person. You would feel that you have done something in your life. Because now you know where you want to go. And before that, it will reveal to you who you are. So once you decide this, you will get two things. You will know who you are, and you will also know where you want to go. After that, you will not be bothered about rest of the public where they are going, and at least you will not be carrying all those trunks every day on your head. You will carry one bag, and you will go in a direction where you want to go. So that is my simple suggestion. Think more, do a little bit less, it will do. But a greater planning on you, who is now 50 plus or 40 plus, imagine this is the time for you. Already a lot of time has gone. Find out who you are, where you want to go. And then every year, please see how much you have moved in that direction. Anything else will be useless. Because in the trunk, even if there are dollars, it's a weight on you. Every day, somebody is taking filth, okay, and somebody is taking dollar on the head. Do you think it makes any difference? No difference. So please be sure what you want to do. And like every start of things when we used to do, we used to remember our guru. So I believe our biggest and the greatest guru is the mother. So before I end my conversation with you, I would like to recite a poetry for you that I have written for my mother. And I hope that some of you will be able to relate with it, and maybe it will give you the message which it wants to give. So this is from my book. I released a poetry book in 1998. There is also some of the videos, okay, musical videos where it's called Moonlight Whispers, where some of the other songs are there, sung by very renowned personalities like Rekha Bhardwaj and Udit Kumar and Anup Jalota and others, so you can view that. Okay, तो मेरे जीवन में मैंने बहुत सारी कविताएं लिखी हैं, लेकिन ये कविता मुझे सबसे पसंद है, तो ये मैं आपके सामने पढ़ता हूँ और उम्मीद है कि आप इससे कुछ ना कुछ देख पाएंगे, अपने आप को कुछ महसूस कर पाएंगे, और उस जर्नी में यू विल बी एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई योरसेल्फ एंड आइडेंटिफाई योर मदर ऑल्सो. इसमें जो पहली 4 लाइनें हैं वो एक्चुअली मेरी माँ कहती है. माँ कहती है, तू अपने आप को इतना सताता क्यों है? माँ कहती है, तू अपने आप को इतना सताता क्यों है? घर खाने का वक्त ही नहीं है तो फिर कमाता क्यों है? तेरे चेहरे से लगता है कि बचपन तेरा सो सा गया है। तेरे चेहरे से लगता है कि बचपन तेरा सो सा गया है। बच्चा जो मैंने पाला था कहीं खो सा गया है। अब तेरे पास वक्त की बहुत कमी सी है। अब तेरे पास वक्त की बहुत कमी सी है। कहने को तो बहुत पाया तूने, पर आंखों में कुछ नमी सी है। अब बैठ तू मेरे पास, अब बैठ तू मेरे पास, मैं फिर से तुझे तेरे बचपन से मिलाती हूँ। पुराने वो दिन फिर से तेरे जहन में लाती हूँ। याद है तुझे? याद है तुझे? शायद याद ना होगा। कैसे तू चांद को चंदा मामा बुलाता था, भरकर उसे आंखों में कितना मुस्कुराता था। अपने छोटे पाँव से सारे घर में भागा फिरता था। चलना सीखा था तभी तूने, न जाने कितनी बार गिरता था, पर गिर के भी रोता नहीं मुस्कुराता था। पर गिर के भी रोता नहीं मुस्कुराता था। और हम सबको अपने पीछे कितना भगाता था। तोतली अपनी बोली से कितना हंसाता था, और अपने बुखार में अपनी माँ को कितना रुलाता था। तेरे ठीक होने की हजारों दुआएं करती थी, तेरे ठीक होने की हजारों दुआएं करती थी। तेल के दिए को करके न्योछावर नाली पे रखा करती थी। ये एक नजर उतारने का तरीका होता था। तेरे ठीक होने की हजारों दुआएं करती थी, तेल के दिए को करके न्योछावर नाली पे रखा करती थी। याद है तुझे स्कूल का पहला दिन? याद है तुझे स्कूल का पहला दिन? जाते समय तू कितना रोया था। और उसी दिन आंखों में मैंने एक सपना बोया था। तुझे पढ़ाना है, लिखाना है, और सबसे ज़्यादा एक अच्छा इंसान बनाना है। याद कर वो सारी बातें, याद कर वो सारी बातें। आंगन में सोकर गुजारी रातें, मच्छरदानी से दिखती वो तारों की सौगातें। नानी की कहानियों में राजकुमारी की राजकुमार से मुलाकातें। याद कर उन्हें। तेरा पिट्ठू से लेकर गुल्ली डंडा तक खेलना, स्कूल की रिक्शा को पीछे से ढकेलना, टीन के डिब्बों को डोरी से जोड़ना, पतंग का उड़ाना और लट्टू का फोड़ना। ये पुराने सब खेल हुआ करते थे। आइस पाइस का खेल वो, और जाके छिप जाना, फिर शाम को लौट के दोस्तों के नाम बताना। याद है तुझे? छुट्टियों में तेरा खेत पर जाना, और कई कई बार ट्यूबवेल में नहाना, हल के साथ चलना और बैलगाड़ी को हाँकना, और भोर होते ही घर से निकलना, और शाम से पहले ना झाँकना। ऊंचे उस पेड़ से जामुन को तोड़ना, पड़ोसी के बाग में ना आमों को छोड़ना, माली की शिकायत को झूठा ही बताना, और दोस्तों के बीच अपनी इस बात पे कितना इतराना। नानी का तेरे वो हांडी में दूध रखना, और तेरा उंगली डालकर मलाई का पहले चखना। चलते समय दादी का 5 रुपए तुझको देना, और तेरा पैर छू के आशीर्वाद उसका लेना। स्कूल में तेरा वो गणित से घबराना, पर खेलों की ट्रॉफियों को ड्राइंग रूम में सजाना। इम्तहान से पहले मेरा बांटना वो नजराना, और तेरा खराब अपने नंबर पापा से यूं छिपाना। फिर गया बचपन, और तू कितना संभल गया। फिर गया बचपन, और तू कितना संभल गया। कॉलेज की पढ़ाई में बिल्कुल ही ढल गया। मेहनत ने तेरी तुझको कामयाब बनाया। मेहनत ने तेरी तुझको कामयाब बनाया। जिंदगी के खेल में आफताब बनाया। पर मुझे तेरा बचपन ही सबसे अजीज है। पर मुझे तेरा बचपन ही सबसे अजीज है। अब तो तेरे पास, और वो ही मेरे दिल के सबसे करीब है। पर मुझे तेरा बचपन सबसे अजीज है, वो ही मेरे दिल के सबसे करीब है। अब तो तेरे पास न वक्त है न बात है। अब तो तेरे पास न वक्त है न बात है। काम ही काम है, न दिन है न रात है। अब तू मुझे जो फोन भी करता है, अब तू मुझे जो फोन भी करता है, तो मैं लंबी बात न कर बैठूं इस बात से डरता है। अब तू मुझे जो फोन भी करता है, तो मैं लंबी बात न कर बैठूं इस बात से डरता है। और मैं भी तुझे अब कुछ नहीं बताती हूं, और मैं भी तुझे अब कुछ नहीं बताती हूं। दुख दर्द को अपने बस दिल ही में छिपाती हूं। मैं ठीक हूं यहां पर हरदम यही कहती हूं। मैं ठीक हूं यहां पर हरदम यही कहती हूं, पर इंतजार में तेरे हर रोज ही रहती हूं। जब तेरी याद आती है, घंटों न मैं कुछ करती हूं। जब तेरी याद आती है घंटों न मैं कुछ करती हूँ, आंखों में अपनी तेरे बस बचपन के सपने भरती हूँ। आंसू मेरे कभी कभी गालों से ढलकते हैं, आंसू मेरे कभी कभी गालों से ढलकते हैं, तेरी उंगलियां थामेंगी कभी उनको, ये सोचकर और छलकते हैं। तू कहता है तूने पैसे भेजे हैं, तू कहता है तूने पैसे भेजे हैं, मैंने अलमारी में वो सारे सहेजे हैं। अब ना तो किसी चीज़ की न पैसों की चाह है, अब ना तो किसी चीज़ की न पैसों की चाह है, कब बैठेगा बेटा पास मेरे, बस इसी की एक राह है। पकड़े मेरी हथेली को और अपने गाल तक ले जाए, पकड़े मेरी हथेली को और अपने गाल तक ले जाए, फिर अपने ही हाथों से मेरी झुर्रियों को सहलाए। सोचती हूँ और मुस्कुराती हूँ, सोचती हूँ और मुस्कुराती हूँ, कब वो मेरा दिन ऐसा आएगा जब मेरा बेटा मेरे साथ वक्त बिताएगा। बस वही मेरे जीवन की सौगात होगी, उससे बड़ी ना मेरे लिए और कोई बात होगी। चल चलती हूँ अब मैं, चल चलती हूँ अब मैं, मुझे तेरा इंतज़ार करना है। चल चलती हूँ अब मैं, मुझे तेरा इंतज़ार करना है, तू बांटेगा वक्त कभी तो ये एतबार करना है। कल रहूँ न रहूँ, कल रहूँ न रहूँ, पर मेरी रूह हमेशा तेरे पास है। कल रहूँ न रहूँ, पर मेरी रूह हमेशा तेरे पास है। क्यों दूर है मुझसे तू, बस इस बात से मन उदास है। अब आखिरी 4 लाइनें हैं। लेकिन चलने से पहले ये कह के विदा लेती हूँ, लेकिन चलने से पहले ये कह के विदा लेती हूँ, तेरे बच्चे दे वक्त तुझको मैं इसकी दुआ देती हूँ। तेरे बच्चे दे वक्त तुझको मैं इसकी दुआ देती हूँ। थैंक यू, थैंक यू, थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू।
Any questions of Mr. Sharma from anyone?
I have asked them many questions.
That's
I'm
true.
sure they are finding the answers.
You've questioned their very existence.
I'll be very happy to answer any questions if there are.
Seva is a success, so what is the next meaning?
Sorry?
Seva is a success. Success in the story, not what the all the promotion. Seva is a success.
Seva?
Yeah.
Of course. No, seva is not, seva is, can't be success, na? Seva is seva. That is why it is seva, na? I am just saying that is why it is seva. So seva can't be success. Seva is seva. Isn't it? Otherwise इसका नाम ही success होता. नहीं, मैंने तो उसकी बात ही नहीं की। मैंने तो आपको बोला कि आप सोचो आपको क्या चाहिए। जो आपको चाहिए, सपोज उनको मंगलयान जाना था, तो उनके लिए मंगल, उनकी कंपनी के लिए मंगलयान जाना सक्सेस था। कोई चांद पे जा रहा है, उसके लिए चांद जाना सक्सेस है। तो आपको पहले देखना है कि आप कहाँ जाना चाहते हैं, आप वहाँ पहुँच रहे हैं कि नहीं, ये आपकी सक्सेस है, पहली बात। दूसरी बात जो मैंने कहा कि सिर्फ 3 चीज़ें हो सकती हैं जो आप मन और आत्मा के लेवल पे महसूस कर सकते हैं, वो है शांति, सुख और आनंद। बाय द वे, शांति इसकी फाउंडेशन है। विदाउट दैट यू कैनॉट बी हैप्पी। यू कैन डिराइव प्लेजर्स एटसेट्रा, बट यू कैनॉट बी हैप्पी। सो एवरी ईयर, अकॉर्डिंग टू मी, you should measure these 3 things. Are you more peaceful? Are you more in harmony? Are you more happy? If you are not, then no matter which road you are on, you are not right. And it will not bring you anything at the end. So I feel that knowing this itself will reveal many things to you. Ji.
You said you've been able to maintain 8.33% of your earnings as a percentage.
Yeah. नहीं, डोनेशन नहीं।
Whatever
नहीं,
means for the society.
See, words में बहुत कुछ है। I have been able to contribute. Contribution is done like this. Just a minute. Contribution is done like this. Donation is done like this. Okay, so words are very powerful. Many things are in our life have gone wrong because of words. I will give you an example. पहले एक शिक्षालय होता था, उसका नाम हमने विद्यालय कर दिया. एक शिक्षक होता था जिसका नाम हमने अध्यापक कर दिया. एक शिक्षार्थी होता था जिसका नाम हमने छात्र कर दिया. अभी उसमें शिक्षा का कोई लेना देना नहीं है. पहले आपकी जीवन में 70% शिक्षा होती थी, 20% विद्या होती थी, 10% मनोरंजन होता था. अभी आपके जीवन में 70%, बच्चों की बात कर रहा हूं, अभी उनके जीवन में 70% मनोरंजन है, 20% विद्या है और 10% शिक्षा है. इसका रीजन क्या है? हमने नाम सही नहीं रखे. नाम सही नहीं रखे तो हमारा फोकस सही नहीं रहा. फोकस सही नहीं रहा तो हम कहीं और पहुंच गए. अब पूछिए आप.
My question now is, you've been able to manage 8.33% of your contribution.
जी.
What I have seen is, I started with a very big amount. I started doing with 25 to 30% in 2009, 2010. I could manage it till around 2014, around 25-30% of my earnings. But what I saw is, I was not at a very big position at that time. But when I used to approach for certain donations and all, in my organization itself, I could see the people who were earning much more were hardly able to contribute more than 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 500 rupees for certain social services. Whereas people at the level of managers, assistant managers or all, they could contribute much more than that. Why does it happen that when we grow, when we start earning more, we start becoming more stingy towards giving to the society in terms of
Because we are not
contributions?
careful. We are absolutely not careful. And
But this happens is when we are at a lower rank, yes, we are able to
मैं आपकी
contribute.
बात समझ गया. मैं आपको कुछ एक बात बताना चाहता हूं जो बात इससे कनेक्टेड नहीं है, बट इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आपको पता है कि जीवन में जैसे ही बच्चा जब तक बढ़ता रहता है, देयर इज अ थ्योरी कि टिल योर बॉडी इज ग्रोइंग, your mind is growing naturally. After that, you have to work on your mind for it to grow. So there are, up to a certain stage, lot of things happen naturally. After that, you will have to work on it. दूसरी बात, आपका दिल कितना बड़ा है, इससे आपके पर्स का कोई लेना देना नहीं है. तो इसीलिए जब आप पर्स बढ़ाने पे फोकस करते हैं, तो आपका पर्स बढ़ता है. जब आप दिल बढ़ाने पे फोकस करेंगे, तो आपका दिल बढ़ेगा. तो जितने भी लोग ऐसे कर रहे हैं, उनको पता नहीं है कि उनको जीवन में चाहिए क्या. उनको लगता है कि सिर्फ पैसा रखने से उनको अंततः वो तीन चीजें मिलेंगी जो मिलती नहीं हैं. एक्चुअली क्या है, मैच्योरिटी की परिभाषा क्या है? मैच्योरिटी की परिभाषा 50 हो सकती हैं, बट अकॉर्डिंग टू मी मैच्योरिटी की सिर्फ एक परिभाषा है. आप जैसा अपने लिए सोचते हैं और जैसा दूसरे के लिए सोचते हैं, इसमें गैप मिनिमम होना चाहिए, तो आप मैच्योर हैं. जितना गैप ज्यादा है तो आप इमैच्योर हैं. तो जितने भी लोग ऐसे हैं वो इमैच्योर हैं. हम सिर्फ कहते हैं वासुदैव कुटुंबकम, बट फॉलो नहीं करते. सो आप छोड़ दो ना उनको जो नहीं कर पाते. मैं चाहता हूं कि आप कुछ शुरू करें. आप तो कुछ भलाई करिए, अपने जीवन में भलाई का कम से कम एक बीज डालिए. और आप, हर एक आदमी कहता है कि मुझको वो चाहिए जो कैंडिडेट, ऐसा जिसको मैं कुछ करूं वो डिजर्विंग हो. किसने बताया कि आप लोग डिजर्विंग हैं जहां पर आप हैं? ऐसा आपको लगता है? ऐसा आपको लगता है? बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो आपसे बहुत ज्यादा डिजर्विंग हैं, लेकिन यहां पर नहीं है. छोड़िए, आपके बच्चे ने क्या डिजर्व किया है कि यू विल गिव हिम एवरीथिंग व्हाट ही वांट्स इफ यू कम टू डिजर्वेंस? सो दिस इज अ नॉनसेंस थ्योरी. आप करना तो शुरू करिए. सर, बाय बिकॉज यू आर वेरी प्रोफाउंड हियर, is there any system where there is no loss? No system. So you try it ना. आप 50 रेस्टोरेंट में खाना खाते हैं जहां पर अच्छा नहीं होता, लेकिन फिर दूसरे में जाते हैं. तो ऐसा क्या हो जाता है कि अगर आप किसी को हेल्प करते हैं, वो ठीक नहीं निकला, तो उसके बाद आप कहते हैं भाई मैंने तो एक बार किया था, अब मैं दोबारा नहीं करना चाहता. क्यों? आप खाना तो रोज चले जाते हो, यहां से रेस्टोरेंट में खराब था दूसरे में चले जाते हो, तो इसमें क्या हो गया? व्हाट हैज हैपेंड? सो ये सब हमारे एक्सक्यूज हैं. Because we want to show how idealistic we are, but actually we don't want to do it. हम देखें तो इसीलिए मैंने बोला था कि आप अपना अप्रेजल करिए, देखिए कि आपके दिल का साइज बढ़ रहा है कि घट रहा है. आपकी पर्सनैलिटी का, योर पर्सनैलिटी इज ग्रोइंग और श्रिंकिंग. डोंट मेजर इट बाय द पर्स विच यू हैव. I wish that could measure you. If that could measure you, that will also be able to be proportionate to your health and for your happiness. It is not. If that was so, the rich people will be more happy than the poor people, whereas it is less, because their insecurities grow, and people who have insecurities are weak people. So measure yourself. You are becoming stronger or weaker. अच्छा, आप एक बात बताइए, आप पूरी लाइफ करते हैं ना, अभी जैसे आप हैं या आप हैं, हर साल आपका प्रमोशन होता है, आप ग्रो करते रहते हैं, तो आपकी पीस भी ग्रो होनी चाहिए, आपकी हैप्पीनेस भी ग्रो होनी चाहिए, आपकी दूसरी चीज़ें भी ग्रो होनी चाहिए, हार्मोनी भी ग्रो होनी चाहिए. सो सक्सेस मीन्स अ लॉन्ग स्पेल ऑफ पीस, हैप्पीनेस, हार्मोनी. That is the success as your individual level. If you don't have that, you are the most unsuccessful man. Imagine God has given you so many years so that when you die, you achieve maximum of peace. That is what you are progressing. You have maximum of harmony. You have maximum of happiness. But 99% people go crying. That means what? What they have been working on? Wrong things. How can it happen? आपने 70 साल जीवन दिया, फिर भी आप शांत नहीं है. अरे तो आप कहाँ चल रहे थे भाई? फिर भी आप खुश नहीं है, फिर भी आप सेटिस्फाइड नहीं है. सो डोंट यू थिंक इट्स अ वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम? उसके बाद भी यू आर गोइंग क्राइंग एट द एज ऑफ 90. व्हाई? यू शुड बी सो पीसफुल. दैट इज व्हाट योर अचीवमेंट इज. यू शुड बी सो हैप्पी, यू शुड बी सो सेटिस्फाइड, यू शुड गो स्माइलिंग rather than crying. But this is my personal view. Okay.
Sir,
I hope you don't mind. We're running out of time. We may have to take any further questions offline. Please, thank you. If you
Thank
could
you.
take the
Thank you
mic.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.